Steph here from handbagaholic.co.uk. Now, I absolutely love the pre-loved market. So this is people selling second-hand designer handbags. Why do I love it? There is so much more choice to choose from. You can pick up handbags that are no longer available from brands at the minute. You can find so many more colours and maybe size variations that are no longer available, and it's just so much fun. You can also save quite a lot of money by buying a pre-loved item. Now, that's not to say that the pre-loved market isn't full of pitfalls. The main ones being scammers selling items that aren't actually the items that they advertise. The bags might be replicas or fakes instead of the real thing. Now what I've done is I've pulled together, I will put a little small eye, you can click it up here, and I will link to my video on how to avoid fake designer handbags on platforms like eBay. But if you do decide to go for a pre-loved item, and I do highly recommend it if you've done your research and make sure you avoid the obvious pitfalls of a bad seller. Once you receive the item, you really should get the item authenticated. Even if you've spent many years buying designer handbags such as myself, it's always great to get a professional opinion on the handbag that you have just purchased, and a lot of authentications also let you authenticate other designer and luxury items. This is why I've pulled together a list of the top authentication services for luxury designer handbags, and like I say, some offer other services as well. Now, all the services that I've pulled together and recommended enable you to take really great photographs of your new designer handbag that you've just purchased. Make sure you do this pretty much straight away, because if you do have any issues or the authentication comes back as that the bag is not authentic, you want to try and solve this with the seller as quickly as possible. So to make this super easy for you, I have pulled together a list of my top authentication services in a super easy to read table format. So if you head over to handbagaholic.co.uk, scroll to the bottom, and then click on the best authentication services. Now, the reason I've done this and put this on the website is that if we have any issues with authenticators, or if we want to add some new authenticators to the list, this will be the most up-to-date list that you can find. So I highly recommend some of the authenticators on this list. I use them personally for myself and for my brand, Handbag Authentication. So what I am going to do now is run through my top authentication services that I personally use. Although make sure you head over to the website after this, because depending on when you watch this video, there might be some more recommendations and some might be taken off. But these are the ones that at the moment I trust. So first, let's take a look at Authenticate First. Now, they have recently had a brand new website built, which is very user-friendly and intuitive. So if we click services and then service prices here at the top, we can then see all the services that they offer. The main one is an online authentication, which varies in terms of price by brand, which I'll show you in just a second. They also offer quite a few downloads like authenticity certificates and cards. If we go down, you can also get a valuation for a product, so if you're not sure how much a designer item is worth. And then if you have a dispute, you could potentially use Authenticate First for a written statement. So if we just scroll back up now and look at the online authentication, you select what type of item it is, such as a handbag or some shoes, for example. You then search the brand, and it really clearly here displays the price of how much this will cost. Now, in order to get your authentication, you need to log in. So I've created an account and logged in now. Here you can see pending orders, how many have gone through, and they get back to you. I believe they claim in 24 hours, which is fantastic. So from here, you can order an online authentication. You can either have a physical authentication. I believe they've got a store in San Diego, which you can send it to in the US, or you can order it online, which is what I've just clicked through on now. Then you select your brand and you can type in a few extra little bits. So if we just select a brand here, it will then give you a price for how much this authentication is going to cost, and the majority are around $15. You then have to upload photos. So again, this is fantastic. It tells you exactly what it wants photos of, and you just upload them to the correct section here. They will then get back to you once you've uploaded these pictures and made a payment. They will then come back to you and tell you whether they think it's authentic or not. Next up, we've got AuthenticateForYou.com. So this is a look at their website, and you can submit your photographs to Authenticate For You, and they will tell you their opinion on whether they think an item is authentic or not. Now, one of the things they say here to submit your photos via email, but actually it's much easier to send them images to Facebook, so it's definitely worth dropping them a message via Facebook Messenger. Now, if we have a quick look at the services that they offer, they only work with really high quality images. A pre-sale evaluation, or basically if you've bought a bag and want an opinion, it costs £5, which is incredibly well priced. It's one of the cheapest available, and that's $7.50 or €7. You can also get a written statement from Authenticate For You. These are £30 up to £100 if you're looking at a Hermes brand bag, and you can use these in things like PayPal and sometimes eBay cases as well, but it's worth checking that PayPal and eBay will accept Authenticate For You certificates, which I believe they do. Then if you want to order one of these certificates, you can simply press payments, make a payment, just press add to cart. So you have to pay via PayPal, which is super easy. You just press add to cart like so, and then it will just say an email evaluation for £5, and you can check out really easily. This is a fantastic service at a great price. Next up, we have the Handbag Clinic. Now, the Handbag Clinic have quite a few stores in the UK, but being an email evaluation service, obviously you can be anywhere in the world to submit for an evaluation. Now, the pricing structure is really clear here. It's $19.95 for all bags, $34.95 for Chanel, Celine, Dior, and then just under £60 for Hermes. You can also pay for a full report, which is slightly more expensive, which you could use in a dispute if you needed to. And then if you want a valuation, so how much something is worth, it's an extra £10. So a really simple pricing structure. Now, if we go to the stores, you can see here they've got one in Chelsea, Leeds and Newcastle. And then in terms of international, they've got them in Monaco, Qatar and Doha as well. I'm sure you could drop your bag off at any of those locations for authentication. And finally, we'll look at Pro Authenticators. Now, we do have more authenticators on the website, but this is the final one that we will review in this video right now. So Pro Authenticators only review Louis Vuitton items, which is great because it means that they are experts on the brand. Now you can see a really clear pricing structure and the services that they offer. And if you would like an email with a PDF included of whether they think an item is authentic or not, it will cost you $20. There's obviously lots more services here. You make payment via PayPal, which is really easy, and the process works that you make payment, then you would email them with images of the handbag in question, and it says please bear in mind it will take them a little while to get back to you, but it's easier to contact them on their Facebook page. If you've ever had any issues with any of these authenticators that I've just mentioned or that are featured on the website, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Either comment below or contact me via the contact form on handbagholic.co.uk. We want to make sure that this list is up to date and featuring only the best authentication services in the world. Thank you so much for watching my video today on the best pre-loved authentication services for designer handbags. I hope this has helped you, and I hope it will encourage you to make sure any pre-loved item is authenticated once you've purchased it, just to make sure. They're often really small in terms of cost. They are so worth it. I can't emphasize that enough. Now, if you like designer handbags, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down here. It means so much to see the community growing. And make sure you stay tuned, because coming up next, I will link the video just here on my top 11 designer handbag picks for the workplace. So guys, you don't want to miss this because I've done all the hard work for you and picked my #1 choice to take with you to work.